Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. You may or may not have noticed, but we are bad financial decisions again. So I decided that I will, at least for the moment, continue being bad financial decisions. I feel aligned to that, and I also feel like if it's something that makes you hesitate to click on me, that's fine, because you should hesitate before clicking on any financial influencer. And if this is just an extra layer of skepticism that you have to overcome and decide on your own that you like listening to me, then I'm much happier with that for my audience. So I'm really happy about that, and I am going to acknowledge that I did get some very lovely messages about how people wish I would change my name. Like 80% of people really love the bad financial decisions, because we all focus on trying to get the best financial decisions, but we shouldn't be so afraid of going in there and learning together. So making these bad financial decisions together. But some people said something like, when you have something called bad, you're starting with negativity, but you're such a positive person. I was like, oh, you're so kind. And other people had lovely messages too, and I take into account. But for now, we're gonna stick with this. So I tried to sell my oldie through cover call. It was at $8.35. I got a $10 premium to do it at $8. And I was trying to roll it for like 2 solid days forward. And then the stock market dinked. And it stopped at $7.96. So I still have oldie, but it's okay. I'm just going to continue to try to sell cover calls on it. It's hard because there's not a lot of traffic in there, and it's really not worth the money. But if I keep it and I have the cover calls, one day I'll lose and get it assigned away. But in the meantime, I'll collect the dividends and try to do it this way instead of just selling it to begin with. So on Monday, I did withdraw $1,000. I paid $2,000 down on my credit card. I should have that second credit card paid off by the second week of April, which is good because the first week of April is when my trailer mortgage is going from $700 to $1,200. So the less minimum payments I have to pay towards credit cards, the more money I have to pay for my trailer mortgage. So I also bought the PLTW 2 shares. I bought Misty. I bought TQQQ. I took $500 from the money I got from my tenant and put it back into Robinhood to increase my margin. And then I bought 5 more shares of Misty. I bought 1 share of 5E. I bought LFGY, and then PLTIR, which is the 2X of Palantir, and UPRO. The thing is, that was today. The market went down pretty hard, and those are the days when I want to go into leverage, because the market is going to recover. And if you buy on the very lows with the leverage, it compounds within itself. So someday I'll have really nice gains from this dip today. So I was actually watching the Tactical Stock Scalper this evening, and I agree with him, where I saw that the market was down, and I wasn't that concerned, and I just bought the dip like I normally would have. But then I was on Reddit and YouTube comments and everywhere, and a lot of people that were over leveraged are very panicky and spreading a lot of FUD over the internet, and it's kind of distressful to observe because we might overestimate our tolerance level for risk, but I hope that everybody will, put in the time to educate themselves on like what they're doing and why they're doing it and how much margin and leverage they can actually use and it be safe. Like, I know for a fact that I'm over leveraged and that I'm too risky, and I know that the market does not care about my circumstances, but right now I'm trying to get my portfolio to a place where it could support me having my $1,000 through options. That way, when I take out the $1,000 and I can replenish that with my options, the money I get from the rental and the money I have from my dividend stocks, I can just invest in the way that I want to. And that way I can pay off my credit card and, not impede my other goals that I have with this, which is financial security, so that if I lose my job, if my tenant loses his job, whatever happens, I'll have enough money as an emergency fund that I could at least focus on something like YieldMight and other freelancing type things and pretty much scrape by and not have to go into credit card debt. So I'm actually pretty excited that I'm under $1,000 of margin, and this is about $1,000 more of collateral than I should be using, but I have 16% margin buffer, and that's fine until it isn't. So the first thing that's going to be sold in that case would be my ulti, and then some of my leverage stuff, and just pretend that was borrowed money from Robinhood and not my own money. So, but hopefully on Monday, people have had the entire weekend to freak out about things, and then it'll be just like the last time where the first 15 minutes really sucked and then it bounced back and you just had a buying opportunity. And I think the economy is just going to be acting like this for the foreseeable future. So you have to act like a bull, even if you're not entirely feeling it. But high-income ETFs actually makes it much easier because you really want your cost basis to be as low as possible. So buying the dip and the way down, that's good, even though these don't have any downside protection. So these funds could get really wrecked in a bear market. But they do sell calls, and the way that it works, though, is that when the stock is moving in the opposite direction of what you're trying to play with, the premium is much lower. So if the stocks are going down and you're doing cover calls, the premium will be less than normal because the stock is going down. When the stock is going up, premiums are higher, probably because there's more risk of it actually hitting that. So, we'll get paid less, but we'll still get paid, which is nice. And then we'll all have lived through a bear market, and whichever one of these funds, or whichever ones, plural, survive a 10-month bear market, then we'll know. So, yeah, we're figuring out what a bear market is with skin in the game, which is not the worst thing in the world. So, that's my thoughts on that. And I've been very vocal that I think 5e is the better fund between Feet and 5e. But when there's a downturn, 5e does have the underlying, which means it'll go down more and you won't have the distributions to make the total return better. So I still think that eventually you'll wind up with more dividends through 5e if, there's a bull market and it goes up significantly. But it's interesting because XDTE is actually doing better than 5e and Feet and LFGY in total return. So I think XDTE is pretty much just my high income ETF benchmark. So for YieldMight today, I'm going to refresh this. I have added a cookies banner because I actually applied today for Google AdSense again. It had turned out that I'd put a required file in the wrong folder. So I fixed that today, and I fixed my website so now it can be crawled and stuff. So hopefully this time I get approved and then I can get more money from YieldMight from advertisers and not, I am really appreciative of everyone who has donated to me, and I am reading your messages, and I will get things like T-Spy and TSYY and the other ETFs that have been requested into the site, or at least I'll look into them and maybe explain why. I should probably have a frequently asked question section here because I don't want to manage things that are just dividends and paying less than 8%. Like if you're less than a JEP-E or a JEP-Q, I don't want YieldMight particularly to have to track that. I did actually today work on the automated script, and it is actually bringing information back, and I'm able to use that, so it's not going to take me forever to update things from now on, hopefully, which is nice. But still, I think that this focused as a high income tool will be good, but later, if we have a paid premium section and it's a portfolio builder, then you should be able to enter in your own symbols or whatever. So that's just my thought on this. And for financial philharmonics, we have Money Rots, which is a heavy metal song about how you should be DCAing into the market, because if you just put in your bank account, it's not beating inflation, it's just going to rot. And then an ode to Buffett. It was supposed to be a Celtic rock song, but someone said it's actually more like a country waltz. But it's just celebrating Buffett's life. And then Synthetic Mechanics. It's kind of a pop song for creating synthetics. So anyways, what did you buy today? Are you excited about this dip? And how did you do this week? And I will talk to you later. Bye.